Hello, Arcady here with another Return to Solstheim video. Sorry, I haven't really been playing this game for the last couple days, so I thought I better, you know, I better actually play it. So, guess we might as well just get started on that main quest instead of just picking up every single plant. Because I don't think you guys really want to watch me, collect from all the plants all day. Even though it is so cool to see Scrafecraw and Tramaroot back. Like, to me, that is really cool to see them back. So,
by night we reclaim
not really sure what's going on here.
what by day was stolen.
I remember the Earthstone was part of Bloodmoon. You had to go to each of the different stones and go on like this pilgrimage to prove yourself to the skull. So I'm not sure why.
He grows ever near to us.
You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here?
Once were blinded.
Somehow I feel like this guy is Master Neloth, who was a Telvanni counselor on Morrowind. So I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but I wouldn't be surprised because Dunmer can live for a very long time.
Mirek. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall.
And when the
That
world
makes very little sense. Mirek's been dead for thousands of years.
The world shall see.
I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there.
here in his shrine.
Alrighty.
Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish.
We might remember.
Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out.
Seems like a typical Telvanni to me. Because they would typically just like kind of let... Well, basically they would just meddle in their own affairs. They wouldn't meddle with anybody else. So they were kind of the isolationists of the great houses in Morrowind. Like they would literally only do stuff for themselves. They would do nothing for anybody else. So if you ran to the Telvanni asking them for help, they would just be kind of laughing at you and be like, "What? Unless it's got something to do with improving our magical knowledge, we really don't give a crap. You can just go and do your own thing." So that's what the Telvanni were like. They were very, they also held slaves too. They were very, like, because in Morrowind, slavery was still legal, technically. So the Telvanni were the ones who mostly held all the slaves.
And when the world shall see.
It's the homeland of the Dunmer. The lesser races call us Dark Elves. We built great works there, like Vivek and Aldrune. Many of them are destroyed now, either by Red Mountain or the Argonian invasion.
Here in his shrine.
You know, I miss Alderaan. It was one of my favorite towns in Morrowind. I should maybe just for the hell of it, like the pure, complete hell of it, do like a tour of Alderaan just for the heck of it. I mean, there would be not much point to it, but it'd give you guys an idea of what that place looked like, as well as Vivek and Balmora and what's that place for the Telvanni? Sadrif Mora. Like these were all, like really major cities in Morrowind during the game Morrowind. So, of course, my personal favorite is Alderaan, although I do like Balmora as well. And Vivek was just massive. Like, it was
It's the
huge.
only place where silt striders can be found. Although I managed to transplant a few here when I arrived.
Huh. So he brought silt striders over here? That's cool.
Here to us.
They're basically giant bugs that you can...
Our eyes once were blinded.
Well, in the game, you'd have to talk to the... what do you call them? They're kind of like taxi drivers for silt striders. So you'd have to go talk to them in order to get them to give you a ride. I can't remember what they were called, but they're basically like taxi guys. I guess that's probably what they're called, really. So I should check. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a couple quests for the Dawn Guard. Couple Radiant quests for the Dawn Guard. I'll do those later. Like, these aren't important to me right now. So I gotta get to the Temple of Mirak, which is way up here apparently. It's alright. I always try to grab Luna Moths when I can, because their wings can be used to make invisibility potions. And, you know, fairly useful when you're trying to steal stuff, or even if when you're just trying to sneak by a bunch of things. The only downside, of course, to invisibility in this game is as soon as you do anything... Ooh, Sujamma! Anyway, as soon as you do anything, you break the invisibility. But that's cool. Sujamma is in Dragonborn. That's one of the like the alcoholic beverages of Morrowind. And the cool thing about Sujamma is it actually like in Morrowind, it would increase your strength by 60 points, which was a lot, if I remember right. Your strength can only go up to 100, and of course Sujamma, if you drink a bottle of Sujamma, you actually literally increase your strength by 60 points. So, and the cool thing is it would stack. So say you had 100 strength anyway, you'd get 60 extra strength just for drinking that bottle of Sujamma for a short time. So if you needed to carry a bunch of stuff to like a vendor or whatever, that was pretty much the best alcoholic beverage to do it with. Hey, look. My cat came over to see what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm not really sure if am I really going the right way? It kind of feels like I'm not, but... Definitely looks like a fight up ahead. Ash spawn. I wonder if they're not, Ah. Yeah, I wonder if they're related to the creatures that dig off fur in Morrowind would create, basically. They look similar, but it's, you know... Considering at this point Dagofur's been dead for like 200 something years, I kind of doubt it. Spawn ash. Looks like they drop an alchemy ingredient. Fort Frostmoth. Huh. I remember in Morrowind, like when you actually went to Solstheim for the first time, you'd go to Fort Frostmoth, and then they had you actually go down the coast to like for, because you could join the East Empire Company there, and the East Empire Company wanted you to found the mine called Raven Rock, which is where, you know, obviously where we just started from. So I wonder what's happened to Fort Frostmoth, because, you know, for whatever reason we went to Raven Rock, and Raven Rock looked like such a General Falk's Carius. Huh. I feel like Carius sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. But that was like the leader of Fort Frostmoth during Bloodmoon anyway. I could be wrong. I would have to I'd have to literally go back to the other game and just see who it is. So anyway, I'm going to talk to him, see what's going on here.
I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind, and I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard. We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. This is strange. The note says it's from General Falk's Carius, but that's impossible. Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive. If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm going to head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults.
Alrighty.
No one knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago, but I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back. We've had 2 other assaults on the bulwark, at different spots on the wall. I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost like they're becoming more organized and probing it for weaknesses. Exactly. Something has to be directing them against us, and we need to find out who or what it is. I might know someone, or maybe not. I can't remember. I can't. I just can't be sure. I think maybe he had something to do with a temple, a temple here on the island. Does that help?
Alright, well...
General Carius sounds out of his mind.
Oh, he has an elven battle axe. I was wondering what kind of weapon he had. But anyway, that looks like that's a side quest. Do I want to do the side quest first, or do I want to do the first main quest? Decisions, eh? Wow, it looks like these, what do you call them? Ash spawns actually drop a lot of ore. So that's kind of cool in a way.
Odin Veleth, Captain of the Redoran Guard, at your service.
It's too bad you can't join the Redoran like you could in Morrowind, because they were actually my favorite great house out of the 3 that you could join. Because you could only join either House Redoran, House Halalu, or House Telvanni. And I told you about the Telvanni. They're kind of eccentric wizards that kind of keep to their own, business, basically. They're not the greatest people, though. Mostly because they actually kept slaves. So you, especially if you played as a Khajiit like I did, because in Morrowind, Khajiit, and Argonians are the most common slaves of the Dunmer. So yeah, if you were a Khajiit or an Argonian character, you'd feel a little bit little off just running around. Just seeing if there's anything else here. And there's a chest that's wide open. But anyway, yeah, you would just feel kind of off about helping a group that's... Ooh, a full set of bone mold armor. That's cool. Bone mold was one of the types of... Because in Morrowind there was like technically 4 armor types. There was unarmored, which is basically just you wearing like a shirt or whatever. Like you're not wearing any armor at all. Like period. And of course there was there was light armor, which is you wearing like, say, leather armor, for example. Then there was medium armor, which the most common medium armor was the bone mold armor, which is this armor that's basically made out of bones, basically. Like it's kind of complicated how they make it, but for whatever reason it's considered heavy armor in this game, and I guess that makes sense because they only have light armor and heavy armor in this game, so it's not like they're going to introduce the medium armor skill just in this, right? So, but I kind of miss medium armor in a way because it was kind of a cool idea to have an armor set, like an armor skill that's right in between light and heavy. So you'd have like almost the same amount of protection as heavy armor, but you would be relatively lightweight, kind of like light armor. So that was the idea behind it, but unfortunately a lot of the medium armor sets were kind of lacking, unfortunately. I noticed that there's a location nearby, and I'm just kind of like, ooh, let's go explore it. I have a feeling that I'm probably never going to beat this main quest at the rate I'm going at. Looks like there's more of those ash spawns. I'm just not sure what shout I had. Yeah, let's go Frost Breath for a change. That's one down. I'm just using a bow for the hell of it. Ooh, Potion of Resist Magicka. That's nice. That can be handy. So it looks like this place got completely totaled. Oops. I did not mean to equip it on my main hand there. Yeah, I don't know what their resistances are, but yeah, well. It's a lot more ore for killing them anyway. I am going to grab all the trauma road. I don't know if it'll be useful or not, but I guess we'll see, right? A diamond. Ruby, sapphire, snow bear pelt. Yeah. Okay, well. Yeah, according to the map, it looks like this is a little bit different than I remember in Bloodmoon. Because I remember in Bloodmoon, you'd come into Fort Frostmoth, which I think was around this area, and Raven Rock was like just down the coast, just right over here. So it feels really weird that, you know, they seem like completely, like complete opposites or whatever. It's just kind of weird to me. But oh well. Yeah. So I will admit it, so I'm not always the best at the lockpicking minigame. I have gotten a lot better though, but just to kind of, wow, lots of gems in here. Just a kind of a heads up to everybody. I'm not the absolute best at it. So you know what I think I'll do is I think I will deactivate both of those quests and just go, holy crap, niches. No way. These are creatures in Morrowind that are, they're relatively harmless, but as soon as you get close to them or you attack them, they go after you. And the interesting thing though is the bigger ones, the bull niches, they are not the dangerous ones. The dangerous ones are the Betty niches, which are the female ones, and they are extremely aggressive once you get close to them. And they could do a lot of damage too if I remember right. I have a feeling they probably won't be that bad. Yeah, they don't seem to be terribly aggressive right now. Because the thing with niches is they can be domesticated by the people in Morrowind, so they, if they're wild, they're more likely to attack you, but if they're domesticated, they just kind of ignore you. Kind of like cows, I guess, or, you know, any kind of domesticated animal. Wow, those look like scribs. Kinda. I guess more of a giant, what do you call those things? Grasshopper. Looks like they, well, chitin plate, or not sure how you pronounce that. But it's, in Morrowind, chitin was one of the types of light armor that you could get, and it was the most common. In fact, it was kind of the official armor of the what do you call those guys? Like the Ashlanders, kind of the native people of Morrowind. So a lot of the Ashlanders would actually be wearing the chitin armor. You could really call the Ashlanders like American natives, basically. Like they live off the land and you know, do all that kind of stuff. So, but they're all Dunmer. Like all of them are Dunmer. Huh? Ash creep cluster. That's interesting. I noticed there's a lot of ash around, which is kind of a common thing in Morrowind, but I didn't expect to ever see this much ash in Solstheim. I don't know if I should get close to that that fort or. So yeah, I guess this video is going to be most of me just exploring stuff. Sorry about that. Whoa. Well, that wasn't very nice of you. Yeah. That was... Did not expect a bunch of ash hoppers to attack me while I was trying to go after that Spriggan. I mean, I guess I don't have to kill it, but... I remember in Solstheim, Spriggans were one of the new enemy types, and they were extremely dangerous. Like, they were very nasty, so you had to be very careful around them. Of course, when you're like level 78 or whatever it is that I am in Skyrim, they're really not that big of a deal. Guess I should check. What level am I? Yeah, 79. Close. Yeah, I've been playing this character for a little while, so that's why. Holy crap. Well, looks like I wandered into somebody's camp. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to use this to call in some backup, just in case. The Brodeer Grove. That kinda sounds familiar.
That's it!
Oh, I didn't even realize that guy can use, what do you call it? Can use that kind of shout. But I kind of like that shout. It can be very useful for providing a distraction. Gotcha. Stormfang. That sounds very familiar to me. I think that was the sword in Morrowind that was unique, if I remember right. So I'm going to hold on to it, just because. I don't really need to loot too badly, because my character is fairly rich now, so it's not that big of a deal anymore. But there are a few things I'm gonna just check anyway, just for the heck of it. Especially lock boxes. Here I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if I actually got that on the first try? So lots of gems in there, it looks like. No, there's the cooking thing. I was just thinking to myself, there should be some kind of, ooh, a Stalrim war axe. That's cool. Definitely going to take that. Because Stalrim was a, what do you call it? Wow, a Daedric? They seriously have a Daedric weapon here? That's crazy. So Stalrim is basically like this, it was like a type of ice that could not melt, and people could actually make weapons and armor out of it. I remember Stalrim was like the absolute best medium armor that you could get. So if you were medium armor, like specialized, chances are you're going to use Stalrim just because it's, well, the best option for you. But it was really lacking compared to, say, Daedric for heavy armor and Glass for light armor. Both of those were way better. So it was kind of a shame. But I did like the idea of having, you know, what do you call it? Like having medium armor as well. But unfortunately it didn't quite, what do you call it? Didn't quite work out the way that I think the developers intended it. They were they were trying their best to provide like an alternative to medium and light armor, or heavy and light armor. But unfortunately, overall medium was kind of lacking, which is why a lot of players did not use medium armor in Morrowind, because both heavy and light were way better. Which was kind of a shame, but oh well. Wonder if I'm getting any closer to it. Looks like I kinda am. So that's good at least. I should maybe make another quick save here, just in case I die, because you never know. So I feel like I'm getting closer. Looks like a giant dragon skeleton halfway in the ground. I don't remember that from Morrowind. So that's kind of cool. Of course, dragons are stupidly common in this game. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for it, but Altar of Frond, I kind of remember this from Morrowind. I think this is where you got rid of your Lycanthropy or werewolf disease, if I remember right. But anyway, I'm going to get a lot of flack for it, but I just cannot stand dragons in Skyrim. They're extremely annoying to me. I mean, especially when you're literally at your like you go to, like, say Riverwood, for example. You're just selling some stuff to the vendors there. All of a sudden a dragon shows up, kills half of the people in the town, and then you have to run around and trying to revive everybody. I mean, it is freaking annoying to me. But I mean, that's, you know, of course that's just me. Anyway, I'm not sure how long this video has been, but I think I'm going to cut this one here for now. We will continue off like right away. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys later.